My name is Mary Kate, and today we are going to cover the topic of Omeka item creation. What you see in front of you is an item record for Mrs. Julia C.R. Dorr. She's one of the 1,470 women in Willard Livermore's book, A Woman of the Century. It's published in 1893. I thought that starting with a completed Omeka record and then working backward might be a good way to introduce you to the topic. So here we see Mrs. Julia Dorr's image. We see a Dublin core field for her with its title, which is her name. We have the description of her. It lists the contributors. I worked on this with Alana Osher, one of the contributors to the project. And next we have the coverage field, which is a map, which explains where she was born and places that she lived during her life. The next major section is the person item type metadata fields. And this has a lot of fields, pages, the name and women of the century, her birth name, authority headings, gender, religion, birthplace, a whole lot of fields with a lot of information in them. The bottom of the page has the item relations section, listing a lot of the periodicals that Mrs. Dorr contributed to. And it also has social bookmarking because that has been added to the site. The top right-hand side of the page has the collection, which is A Woman of the Century Women. It has a lot of tags for Julia, and it has a citation related to the project. So now let's look at the back end. This is the back end of Julia Dorr's item record. This is where you would edit her record. When you open up the record, it will start on the Dublin core page, which we saw when we looked at the front end. And you can see all the same things that you saw in the front, but this is just where you put the information in. On the right-hand side of the page, you're able to save, you're able to view the public page, which is what we just saw, or delete the item, and it does catch you so that you can stop yourself if you've made a mistake. And you can also decide if you want this to be public or not, and whether you want it to be featured, and you also can decide what collection you want this to be in. The next side that you go to is the item type metadata. And I decided that this would be a person since it's Mrs. Dorr, but there are all kinds of options for that. Included the page in the Women of the Century, which I linked to the page in the book. It has her name and all the other information that we looked at on the front side. Some of them are drop downs so that you can see different occupational categories. I created broad occupational categories for all the different occupations that women are in A Women of the Century. I decided to make some broad categories. So these are the basic categories. So you just pick the ones that go on, hit add input to add another one. The periodicals are also in a drop down. There are a lot of periodical options here. And if you need one that is not there, just let me know and I will add that for you. So this is where you add the information about where she lived. Again, just hit add input to get another one for her personal network as well. And for the URLs and bibliography information is here as well. And next we go to the files. This is a section where I had downloaded Julia's picture from Woman of the Century, and then I uploaded it here to the site. And this is where you add tags. You just type the information in here. And oftentimes, some of these people or the periodicals are already in here, so they will come up automatically. If not, you put the information in. And this is the item relations section, where you can decide what you want to put down. In many cases, she was a contributor to different periodicals, so those are all there. There are all kinds of drop-down items here. Oftentimes, if someone is friends with somebody, you would click no, and then you would pick the number, the item ID number of that person's record, and you would put that in here, and then you would save it. So, whenever you're ready, this is what your blank item record would look like. You will just go to the dashboard, and you will select items, and then you'll click add an item, and you will come to the site. If you have any questions, just let me know. If you want to see some examples, this is the A Woman of the Century 19th and 21st Century Contributors project that I'm working on for my current class. And if you go to the bottom here, 19th Century Women Examples, there are several women here, including Julia. And you can just click on any of their pictures, and it will bring you to their item records, and you can use them to guide you along the way. Thank you very much.